Hi, dear listeners. Now we are going to see the summary of Form and Death Shall Have No Dominant by Dylan Thomas. The Dylan Thomas was one of the most and eminent writers of the 20th century. He believed that writing was a kind of self-discovery. This belief of his was even reflected in his writing, and his works remain distinctly personal, having the metaphorical language and aesthetic imaginaries and psychological details. His writing were not only the personal but hard worldly themes like birth, death, love, and religion. And death shall have no dominant by Dylan Thomas celebrates the undying and everlasting strength of the human spirit. It is through this spirit that humans can claim victory over death, and death shall have no dominant. The poet believed that the dead are never lost to us, but they live on through the beauty of their memory and spirit. The struggle does not end, it continues. Okay, the first stanza, which is talk about the east stanza, begins and ends with the title of the form, and death shall have no dominant. The first stanza, the poet conveys that is death. All are one. The race and skin color no longer have any meaning when a person dies. The dead body reunite with nature. In death, everyone is knocked and shall be one. There is no discrimination in death. The poet goes on to say that after death, men become part of the constellations, the something bigger than he was. When he was alive, though, the dead man bones are naked. They shall be clothed in eternal glory and shall have stars at their elbows and foot. In the following lines, the poet says that though the man will go mad, they will attain sanity. Those who have drowned in the sea of human sorrow shall rise again and taste joy. The moreover lovers who were lost will be united after death. Finally he uses the final lines, and death shall have no dominant. The second stanza of and death shall have no dominant takes the reader to the graveyard, which is located on the sea floor. The poet says that one can find the souls of the sailors or the others who lost their lives in the sea. According to him, these people died courageously. Their lives have tortured them. The way of the time he has tasted them, but none of this could break them. The fate has been cracked in two, and unicorn evils will put their horns through them. The unicorn is an ancient mythical creature, sometimes used as a symbolized Christ or God. The unicorn horns are considered as harder than diamonds and can naturalist poison. The tears can heal wounds both the physical and mental nature. Again the stanza ends with the lines, and death shall have no dominant, representing the trump and main theme of the form. And the final stanza talk about the land along the seashore. The poet begins the final stanza by saying that the dead are no longer disturbed by the materialistic world and the physical element that they made of their homes. The girls are she-bats which will no longer cry at their ears. They will not be able to hear, and loud noises made by the waves. Yet new life will spring up and interrupt life like a flowers that lift heads to blows of the rain. Their innocence shall burst through like daisies. Their innocence ultimately wins over the suns and breaks it down. The phrase hits of the characters and hammer through daisies. The kings are the characters of those dead peoples who hammer through the pain until the innocence breaks them. The daisy blooms as dawn breaks symbolize the burst of the innocence. In the same way, death becomes the powerless as humanity and regains the purity and recollect hope. Disregarding pain and hatred, In this way, death can be overcome and death shall have no dominance. Thank you. Hi.